I grew up in a very good home. Um, my mother, my father, and my grandparents. I was raised in a good home. Um, it's a lot of us. I'm the second oldest of 18, but we had a good life. We didn't want for anything, and my grandmother kept us in church. Made sure we went to school, made sure we learned what we were supposed to. Took care of my brothers and sisters. I had a good life. Going into high school, I was always the inquisitive child. I wanted to know what was going on over here, what was going on over there. I knew my schoolwork. I think that's why I stepped out a lot, to go see what was going on over here and going on over there. Because once I went back to school, I could pass my tests. But I had fun. We went to dances, homecoming, football games. I did all that. At that time, in my high school years, I had friends that were good influences. Yeah, I was running with a good crowd then. I got married in high school because I had a baby, and my grandmother was like, you need to get married. So we got married, which we shouldn't have, because, you know, I didn't know nothing about love. But I tried it, the married life. And that's when I started getting abused. Back then it was like, well, it was kind of the, take it, it'll be okay, y'all, you know, you're married, you stay married, and it'll be okay. But it wasn't okay. So, that was my first experience with abuse, physical abuse from a man. And then after I left him, I started getting in other relationships, and they were physical. It was like, it was a cycle. Like, I always choose the men that started out good, and then they'd be physical with me. And I was still young, so when I finally got myself breaking out of it, that's when I started getting in trouble. That's when I started experimenting with drugs. Thinking I was grown and knew everything, and, you know, couldn't nobody tell me anything. But I took good care of my kids. But I still ventured off into drugs. And at first it was the light drugs, you know. And through the years it led to the hard drugs. And where I thought I was in control of it, you're never in control of drugs. You're not in control of it. I thought I was a functioning addict because I could keep a job, I could do my drugs, I could take care of my kids, I could go party. Where I saw other people didn't keep jobs, you know, girls took to the streets. For some reason I thought I was a better drug addict than them because I was functioning which I wasn't any better. I guess I just knew how to hide it better. I didn't get in trouble until I was like 42. Like I said, I was into the hard drugs then. And where I say at first where I was a functioning addict, by this point I wasn't functioning anymore. I was not going to work. My kids were teenagers, so I kind of felt like, you know, they're taken care of, you know, they can do for them. And all I was worried about was where I was gonna get my next high from. And that led me to criminal activities. Because if I'm not going to work, I don't have money to support my habit. And so I started stealing. And I'm gonna tell you, my drug thinking back then was, I'm not hurting anybody. You know, this is stuff that they've got insurance for, or I didn't think I was hurting myself. I didn't think I was hurting my family. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So you go to you go to more criminal activities and more abusive relationships. You know, that's just how it is. You don't break out of it. You don't break out of it either unless you die or you go to jail. That's the only way you break out of it. And of course, I'm not dead, so I went to jail. When I first got to prison, I was scared to death. I was scared to death. I thought I was a street girl. I thought I could fight. You know, I thought I could handle myself. But when you get to prison, there's always somebody tougher than you. You know, there's so many different personalities there and so many people with different crimes. It blew me away because no matter how many crime movies you see on TV or crime shows and stuff, you're there with the real thing. You're there with people that have actually murdered somebody, people that have actually killed their kids, or women that have taken cases for men, you know, or people that are actually innocent. You're there with everybody. You have no control over your life. You have people telling you when to do this, when to eat, when to go to bed, when to go to the bathroom. I was mad at myself for being there. I was mad at the law for putting me there. I was mad at the people that told me what to do. I had a 20-year sentence at first. I had a 20-year sentence. And I thought I'd have to be there for 20 years. Like I said, I didn't get into trouble until I was older. So I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna really be old when I get out of here. So I started going to the law library and reading up on my case because, you know, you don't have anybody there to guide you, say, hey, file this appeal or do this or do that. So I took that up on myself. Well, I had been there a whole year before I even did that because I was still in my anger mode. I was still angry at myself and I was angry at life. But life didn't put me there, I put me there. So after that year, I said, well, you need to go try to find something out. You know, you need to change this up. This anger thing ain't working here, you know. Kept me with a write-up, or I went to the hole for 10 days or something, you know. And I'm like, if I'm gonna be here for 20 years, I can't keep doing it like this, so I gotta try something different. I started getting involved in things. And my involvement in those programs in prison helped me. They helped me. The years started flying. I found out I didn't actually have to be there for 20 years. That helped. And then my family stood beside me. They had me the entire time. I had visits, I had money on my books. I didn't want for anything. Concordance came to me later on in my years. And then as I started getting closer to home, and I had to think about what I was gonna do once I got out. Okay, now I could have went to my family. All my family had their doors open. I didn't want to do that. Because like I said, I didn't get in trouble till I was older. So now I'm much older. And y'all have taken care of me the entire time I've been in prison. Y'all visit me anytime. The phone calls, everything. I don't want to come home and burden y'all again. So I said, well, let me see what this program's about. And then the lady, Miss Tamara, and the guy that used to come up to Concordance, they were like, because I'm real reserved when I first meet people, real reserved. That comes from my criminal life of not trusting. But my first impression of them was, they're real. They kept it real with us. They was talking about good things, so I'm like, let me try this. And I started getting into it, you know. And once I put my barrier down and get into something, you know, I'm in it for the long haul. And I liked it, and then I got excited about it. Then I couldn't wait to try it. Then I came there. You know what? Concordance saved my life. Because coming home this time, like I say, I didn't want to go to anybody. But I'm older now, and you know, the workforce is taking younger people, so I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna do? But the people here at Concordance, are the best thing ever could come along. I failed one time here. And when I failed, I begged them to keep me in this program. And they did. And after that, it's like now, I used to worry about what people think of me, how do they perceive me, but I don't care about that anymore. Because I have moved so forward in my life. I don't need anybody to pat me on my back anymore. I don't need their acceptance. I'm doing it for me this time. And it feels so good. It feels so good for me to be able to walk in and out of my door. It feels so good for me to feel the sun beaming on me. It feels good to touch grass. Those are things that people who haven't been to prison or locked up, they don't think like that. They don't think about the little things that we get to enjoy. I appreciate all of that now. I appreciate all of it. And since I've been home and working, I've done so good on my jobs. One job, I won Employee of the Year. My case manager doesn't know that I quit a job Friday because I got a new job with benefits that I start tomorrow. So actually, I was in a position to get a new car. I've never in my life had a new car like this. But Concordance has been my backbone. I bring my grandkids love coming up here for the dinners. I like the things that Concordance says to my family about me. You know, and my family knows it's real. I've proven to my family this time. You know what I mean? Because I got 3 grown kids in 3 different states. Everybody wants me to come live with them. And I keep telling them no. Until I fail, let me do this. Let me do this. I've had times I wasn't sure I was going to pay my rent. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep my electricity on. But a way's been made. Something always pops up at the last minute. Every day I go in from work and I turn that key in her, I walk up the steps, I'm like, thank you, Lord, I still got a roof over my head. That's all I want, my whole roof over my head. I don't trust easy. So my number one thing about Concordance is that the workers are honest with you. You win me over if you're honest with me. If you're honest with me and I can be honest with you, that wins me over. Everybody here, all these workers are honest with you. Yeah. And if you reach out to them, they will help you. I want to tell whoever sees this, I don't care how many times you've been in trouble. I don't care what you've done in life. If you want to succeed, come here and embrace whatever this program has for you. Because this program works, it's like AA. It works if you work it. Come here and let these people show you a better way of life. Nobody wants to go back to jail or prison. You can gain something. I have. I'm probably the oldest one here, but and it wasn't too late for me. It'll never be too late for you.